A genuine smile formed on Zeke's face when I told him that in his take-home folder, his teacher had said he'd earned a gold star for his day at school. What? Really? He asked. He had braced for more of the same of what he'd experienced at other schools. He'd had his first challenging moment of the school year at his new school, City Elementary. He was prepared for his take-home folder to be filled with what he'd come to know from other schools. A negative note, a reminder of what he'd done wrong, maybe a warning that he would not be welcome to return if things continued. Instead, he found a gold star and a warm note from his new teacher assuring him that he was still welcome. He smiled, and I felt a glimmer of hope for the first time in a long time. For our family, this is the City Elementary difference. At City, we have found a community of educators, students, and families who see our son in his totalities. They see his area for growth and strength and are willing to accept him and create the safe space he needs to heal, grow, and learn. We've experienced the difference from the start. In our initial meeting with Chris, head of schools, he took the time to listen, to understand the journey we've been on, validate our efforts and struggles, and jointly figure out whether or not City was a right fit for us. Chris seemed to understand from the get-go that school is as much about relationships and trust as it is about curriculum and standards. Chris went on to work with us to craft a thoughtful plan to welcome Zeke that was realistic about his needs and attuned to help him build on small successes. Once again, showing the City difference, the plan wasn't about fitting Zeke into one way of doing school. It was about knowing Zeke and meeting him where he is. As the year has started, we see a difference in Zeke. He isn't nearly as anxious or resistant to go to school. As he enters the building, he does so confidently, sharing stories from his weekends with trusted educators who greet him with a smile or a fist bump every day. At home, he shares stories about what he's learning, even if he doesn't always like doing non-preferred academic tasks. He talks about friends he's made and how kind they are. When he makes mistakes, he trusts that he'll be allowed to repair and feels brave enough to try. For the first time in a long time, our son is making positive relationships. His identity is affirmed, and he's part of and longs to stay a part of the community. As an educator, I know that a culture like this doesn't just happen. It is cultivated by skilled, thoughtful, and caring educators. We know that there's a long road ahead for our son. Still, we feel hopeful that the care, acceptance, flexibility, and genuine academic engagement that City offers may be what our son needs to finally believe that school is a place where he can belong and thrive.